Well, today's video is going to be about creepy things. I wrote a couple pointers down. Creepy things that you can do with women that will make you look like a creep, that will creep her out, that will make her uncomfortable, right? Because if you guys don't get laid and you want to know what the secret is, and if you're an incel and you're probably going to get mad at this video, right? Because all the incels do, like the last guy in my comments who was an incel and he's commenting and all this. And as soon as I said, hey, let's hop on a call and let's make a video about it, bro deleted his comment. He got scared. So I know there's going to be some incels that are going to get mad at this video because it applies to you. So if you do these things, right, understand you're going to be seen as a creep. And if you want to get laid with women, if you want to be a man who's more seductive, the key is to make them comfortable. A woman will not care about looks, money, and status, right? If you have looks, money, and status, but you're a creep, guess what? She's not going to feel comfortable around you. If a woman's giving you her body, she has to feel comfortable giving you her body. The reason why creeps and socially awkward guys don't get any ass is because she feels uncomfortable around them. She doesn't feel comfortable giving them her body, giving them all these things, right? Because in her mind, she doesn't feel comfortable because she believes this guy's creepy. There's something wrong with him. Women don't want him. Clearly, he gets no ass. And if I give him some ass, he's kind of creepy. So what would he do to me if I did give him that, right? Because 9 times out of 10, guys get attached, right? So the last thing she wants is to have a crazy man stalking her and everything, right? So let's get right into this video. So the first point, and I thought about this the other day when I thought about making this video, and then the rest of these I just came up with right now. And if you have any other creepy things that you feel like I missed out on, leave them in the comment. Help me out. Leave them in the comment, okay? So I can make a video and add it to my next one. But let's start off with the first one. The very first one is going to be staring. And what I mean by staring, the reason why women find it so creepy is because it's just like a creepy thing to do. Nobody likes getting stared at, right? If it's a woman staring at a man, shit, maybe, right? Maybe we wouldn't feel so bad about it. But a man staring at a woman, it comes off so creepy. And that's the reason why there was just a gym opening nearby my place, and the gym has a women's only zone. Think about that. Why would they do that? Because women are so tired of going to the gym and men just staring at them. It's so creepy, right? And guys who have no game, who have no balls, who have no confidence, instead of walking up to her like a man, they sit there from a mile away and they stare at her like a creep, like Jeffrey Dahmer, like, oh yeah, that's my next victim. Like, bro, you're coming off so creepy when you do that. Listen, if you're going to look at a woman, you can look at her for a couple seconds, right? And if she acknowledges you, if she looks at you back, you could go like that, like say what's up, like let her know that you're looking. You could wink at her, right? And that's about it. Other than that, once that contact has been made, you can approach her like a man and tell her why you're looking at her or why you approached her. Listen, you caught my eye. I just wanted to come over here, introduce myself, and don't be creepy about it. And that will set you apart from all the other men, because so many men see a pair of tits and a fat ass, and what do? They stare like a creep. And that is the biggest turnoff for a woman, right? A man who just stares, and doesn't do anything about it. It's giving the feeling as if you are someone who is too scared to approach. It's giving her the feeling as if you are someone who is maybe trying to kidnap her, right? Because when someone stares at you, you don't know why they're staring at you. You're like, why is this person staring at me? If it's a man staring at another man, you automatically assume he has a problem, right? He might be trying to test me. That's why you look at him and you go like that, right? Like, what's up? I see you staring at me, right? And when it's a woman, women feel uncomfortable. Why? Because they're physically weaker than men. And so when a man is she's thinking like, is this guy trying to do bad things to me? I got to be careful. So guys, if you see a woman you like, don't be a creep. Don't be a creep. Don't sit there, no matter where you are. Don't stare at her for too long, okay? If you glance at her, if you have the balls to approach her, then yeah, you can look at her and then go make your approach. I'm not saying stand there for too long, but a couple seconds is good enough as long as you're going to make the approach because she knows the reason why you were looking at her. I'm not going to say staring, right? Because you don't want to stare like that. The reason why you were looking at her is because you found her attractive and you wanted to go talk to her. You saw something. You saw some eye candy, something that you like. But I remember in a job that I worked in back in the day at a restaurant. Listen, this is how pathetic guys are, right? The Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, they'd be giving me, the Puerto Rican guy, they'd be giving my people a bad look. They'd be like this, right? These guys, middle-aged men, horny as hell. They'd be standing there because I worked at a restaurant in a very populated area and so many baddies came through. And so what would they do? They'd be like, hey, come here, come here. And they'd all stand there in a group and be like, yeah, I would do this to her. Yeah. Like they're so horny, but they have no balls. They don't know how to just, hey, don't be creepy. You like that woman? Go talk to her. She rejects you, so what? You can't lose something you never had. So if you approach a woman and she rejects you, okay. Don't be a creep and don't stare at her too long. Next one, unsolicited dick pictures. This is probably the creepiest thing that you can do to a woman. If a woman if you haven't built any type of sexual tension, even then, I would never send a dick pic unsolicited, right? Like if she asks you for one, if she says, hey, I want to see that dick, right? She wants to play with herself. She's sitting here fantasizing about it. You gave her that good dick, right? And she's thinking about it. And she wants to see it again. Because she just wants to play with herself. She wants to do whatever. That's when you can send a dick picture if you want, right? It's risky nowadays because someone can hack your phone. And if you got a micro penis, then hey, it's probably not in your best interest to be sending dick pics, right? You should probably wait till you see her. And, give her that, yeah, I mean, okay? So, when you send dick pictures unsolicited, again, that is the creepiest thing that you can do. Why? Because think about that. I don't understand the logic of some men. The men who do this are the biggest weirdos. You think that sending this random woman a picture of your junk is going to turn her on? She's going to be like, oh, wow. You guys have been watching way too much porn and your mind is so warped to the point that you really think that sending a random person a picture of your penis is going to turn her on. Like, what fantasy world do you live in? Guys, and I'm sure a lot of the guys that are watching this video probably don't do that. So, guys, we're in the same club, right? But for the guys who do, what is wrong with you, man? Like, seriously, I'm talking to the guys who do. What is wrong with you? Look yourself in the mirror, reevaluate your life, and stop being such a horny fuck, okay? Put down the porn, hop on semen retention, actually master your sexual urges. Because eventually, you're going to end up on Vitaly Stream because those are the guys who can't handle their urges and they go and they meet underage kids, right? It's disgusting. You need to take control of your sexual urges. Once you can take control of your sexual urges, which is the most strongest urge and energy that we feel on this planet, because deep down inside, it's our purpose, our one and only purpose. Our deepest purpose is to reproduce, right? That's why we have that urge, that urge that is so strong, okay? Yeah, there's a different purpose after that. Like, for example, like my purpose is to help other men not have to go through all the things that I went through and actually learn from my mistakes, learn from everything that I did wrong, and just give that value back into the world, give that value back into the community and help people out. See, that is my purpose. That is what I am on this planet to do. But deep down inside, my purpose is to reproduce, right? If none of us reproduce, then the earth would go extinct. So it's understandable why you feel that urge, but you need to gain control over it. It's very important. Not only will that not get you laid when you go on a date and you're so thirsty, you can't control that urge, that it runs your mind and you're over here giving off that thirsty energy. It's going to turn her off. She's going to get uncomfortable. So don't do it. Next point. Okay. This one's a good one. Sexual jokes. Okay. I was just watching the show Dexter. And there's this guy, right? For those of you who have watched Dexter, you know, the Asian guy who be saying all the sexual jokes or whatever. That is creepy, okay? If you're making sexual jokes and this woman, you haven't built no type of sexual, right? It's different. If you're a handsome young man, right? You've built that sexual tension and she's feeling you. You guys are constantly flirting. Then here and there you could say a little sexual joke, but not in a blatantly sexual way, right? You need to learn about double entendres, things with insinuation, things that make her think that, but they're not directly saying something, right? Like if you're so horny to the point where you're saying sexual jokes thinking that a woman is going to be turned on, if you say like, I'd donkey fuck you, bitch. I'd fuck that pussy. yeah, you'd be bouncing on my cock. Oh yeah. You really think that's going to turn her on, brother? Like think about that. You need to reevaluate your life. If that's you, reevaluate your life right now, okay? You got to say double entendres. And making a sexual chemistry between you and a woman is not about saying sexual things and sexual jokes right off the rip, right? It's about creating that sexual tension, creating a sexual vibe. If you understand that, two people who have a sexual vibe, a man and a woman, they're like, you see them and you could just feel it, right? The eye contact is strong. The chemistry is strong. Like they're flirting in a way to where it's like a back and forth, like a playful mood, a playful energy, to where you can just feel that this thing is going down a path to where it's about to get hot and heavy. But they're not saying jokes like, yeah, I'd fucking slap my balls on your forehead. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, no. That is creepy. Don't do it. You will be seen as a creep. Okay, especially if you're very unattractive. If you're very unattractive and you think that making sexual jokes is going to get you any points and make you be the type of man in her eyes that she's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to fuck obese Johnny over here with the micro penis because he just said the craziest sexual joke. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. Nope, not happening. So don't even do it. Okay, don't do it. And I can make a video on that, on the flirting and the sexual tension, the sexual vibe. And I actually have one of those on my Patreon, I believe. So go to my Patreon on Optimal Man Coaching. And if you guys need help, right, let's go on to the next one. We're about to go there. But if you guys need help one-on-one, I respond to all of my DMs. So send me a message on Instagram at Optimal Man Coaching. I hop on calls all the time with my subscribers. So send me a message, okay? The next one is DMing a woman nonstop. I've seen this a lot, right? I've seen women post it, making fun of the guys, right? I've seen women, talk to me about it. And when you are the type of man who will sit there, first of all, you shouldn't double text a woman, okay? You shouldn't double text. If she doesn't respond, trust me, she saw it. She saw the message. She is always on her phone. Women are always on their phone, and women will always be constantly checking for a guy that they like to see, did he respond? Did he respond? A woman who actually likes you will check all the time, right? You won't have to struggle getting that woman's attention because she wants your attention. She's waiting. If she sends you a message, she's waiting for you to send one back, right? If you send her a message, she's thinking of a response. But if you're the type of guy who sends a woman a message on Instagram, oh, baby, you're so beautiful. No response. Hard eyes on her story. No response. Oh, baby, I would love to take you out. No response. Oh, when can we? No response. You look dumb. You look like a creep. She's like, this guy is creepy. She can tell 100% you get no ass. Because a man who gets some ass is not going to be doing that. A man who gets some ass, first of all, will approach her in person. But let's just say he DMs her, right? He might DM her here or there. Maybe like one of her posts or something. Or like one of her stories, comment on one of her stories. But if she's not responding, that's it. okay, you're cooked. It's done. Stop going and trying to text because you just look extremely desperate. You look so desperate, okay? So I hope this video helps you out if you're one of those guys doing that. Just be self-aware about it. Just be conscious that what you're doing is creepy and just stop it altogether, okay? Because some guys are unaware that these things are creepy. So you might not be a creep, but some things that you're doing come off as creepy, and they really are, right? So if you're doing creepy things, that makes you a creep. But if you just stop doing them, if you say, listen, I was doing some creepy shit, I was too horny, I let my urges get the best of me, right? Then let me just stop right now and we're good, right? Just better yourself. Make better decisions, okay? Next one. Following her. And no, not following her on Instagram. Following her when you are approaching a woman, okay? Because I've seen this, I've reacted to some videos of approaches, and what do some guys do? Hey, excuse me, beautiful. I just thought you were very beautiful. Excuse me, I just thought you were very beautiful, right? And first of all, you mumble and you don't talk very well and you don't project your voice. So first of all, she doesn't hear you, right? Because you're already approaching her from the back, which I always advise guys to approach a woman from the front. But this is what they'll do. Either the woman's crossing their path or they're approaching her from behind. They mumble some shit. The woman barely hears them. Then they say it again. And then she looks back and then they're like, oh, I just wanted to say you were very beautiful. And she's like, oh, thank you. And she keeps walking. She's not stopping to give you attention. If she liked you enough, she would stop and give you the time of day. She would say, okay, look, who's this handsome guy? What does he want? Where is this about to lead me? Where is this about to go? Are we going to go on a date? Does he like me? Oh, wow, who is this guy, right? But if a woman's not stopping for you, if a woman's kind of like, oh, okay, thank you, and she keeps walking, then the best thing you can do, right? I wouldn't even advise, right? I wouldn't even advise you to do that with a woman who is clearly not interested enough to stop for you. But let's just say she's actually in a rush. The only thing that I would say that you could do, which honestly I wouldn't even do. I wouldn't even do this. If she's walking away, let her go. But let's just say she's extremely busy. The only thing that wouldn't be creepy is like, hey, excuse me, really quick, I can tell you're in a rush, but I just found you really attractive and take my number down. That's it. If she declines, let her go. That's the only thing, which even I wouldn't do. But that'll give you, at least some sort of points to where you're not a creep, at least. But if you're the type of guy who this woman's clearly walking away from you, she's like, oh, thank you, or she didn't even respond, and you keep, oh yeah, so when can we go on a date? Oh yeah, you're beautiful. I love, wow, you're beautiful. Wow, oh my goodness, wow. Right? She's like, who the fuck is this guy and why is he following me? Especially if it's at night in a dark alleyway. I better not catch you doing that shit at night. Oh my goodness, you are a creep. But even in broad daylight, right? You tell her, hey, I think you're so beautiful. And she's walking away and she's like, who the fuck is this guy? You're like, hey. And of course, she's not going to tell you, like, can you please go away, right? Because she's physically weaker. Women are afraid to speak up to a random man. Why? Because she's like, I don't know who this guy is. This guy's already unhinged enough to follow me. So what if I say something like, hey, can you please stop following me? What is he going to do? Is he going to put me in a chokehold? Is he going to put some chloroform on a towel and, bitch, get in the fucking car. I'm going to fucking tie your ass up and fucking duct tape her ass and take her somewhere and she's going to end up cut into pieces and sold, right? So she's not going to say anything, but you're extremely creepy. And she's not going to be turned on. You're not going to get laid. You're not going to get any points. And if she gives you a number, it's going to be a fake one. Trust me. Okay? So if you see a woman that you like and you want to approach her, you actually have the balls to approach her, I commend you, okay? I commend the fact that you're willing to approach a woman who you find attractive as a man, rejected or not. You still made the approach. But what I would advise you is to approach a woman from the front, okay? So let's just say you see her walking at a Target or wherever, and you see her, right? You position yourself to where you're in front of her, and then you talk to her. Then first of all, you say, excuse me, right? because you don't want to start talking to someone who you don't have their attention. A lot of guys make this mistake. Hey, I just thought you were really beautiful. And she's kind of like you don't even have her attention. First of all, you want to say, excuse me, or hey, right? And make sure before you go on with whatever you're going to say, make sure you have her full attention. Make sure she's eyes locked in on you. And she's like, hey, what's up? Right? She's ready. She's receptive to listen to what you have to say. And do it from the front. So that way you're not doing this dynamic to where you're chasing behind her or following her like the Night Stalker, right? So do it from the front. Excuse yourself. Don't be creepy about it. Don't follow the rest of the list, right? Don't make sexual jokes. Don't be staring at her. Simple, okay? And the last point. On to the last point. And like I said, guys, if you have any more ideas, drop them in the comments. I would love to go in depth on them because I'm sure I'm missing some. But this video, I came up with it in like 4 minutes or like 3 minutes. So, last one. Too touchy. Okay? Too touchy on the date. On the date. Or maybe even if you approach her and you meet her, right? Too touchy. That could apply to anything, whether you're at work, whether you're, whether you're at work, whether you're approaching a woman, whether you're on a date, it doesn't matter, right? Too touchy is something that it's going to come off as very creepy. If you are on a date with a woman, you do want to break the touch barrier. You do want to escalate. And the touch barrier, for those of you who don't know, is just a term for like when you and a woman haven't touched, hasn't physically touched. Like you guys have just seen each other, and that's about it. That's the extent of it, right? When you shake a woman's hand, basically you broke the touch barrier because now you guys touched or whatever. And then, you can physically escalate it slowly. Okay? You build the sexual tension through your words, not through touching. You don't build sexual tension through touching. That's why it's so important to have a mouthpiece and have game. Because the sexual tension is built through the non-verbals and the verbals. It's not built through physical touch, okay? You don't think that touching a woman before you've ever gotten physical with her is going to turn her on, okay? Unless she's asking you for it, then okay. That bitch is a slut. She's trying to get touched in all of these places and shit. She's a slut, right? So you build it through words. You build it through the flirtatious energy, your personality, your sexual charisma. That's how you build it. But being too touchy, as far as, you go on a date and maybe you hug her and you grab her ass. Like you grab her ass. You're going to start making her uncomfortable, okay? You're grabbing her ass. Or if you're like you're trying to touch her tits, or you're like just really really touchy, like grabbing her all over, it's gonna come off as creepy. You're gonna make her uncomfortable. It's not gonna give you your desired result, the effect that you think is having. It's not what it's having, okay? It's actually giving you the opposite effect. It's not seducing her, it's anti-seductive, okay? So test the temperature, okay? That's what you do when you're on a date and you're trying to escalate. You test the temperature, okay? And I'm not going to give away all the free details of how you escalate. That's on my Patreon, Optimal Man. It's on my Patreon. I teach you how to physically escalate things to lead it towards sex on a date, okay? So for those of you guys who don't know, you don't get laid, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do on my Patreon, or you can send me a message on Instagram. But basically what you want to do is, simply test the temperature, meaning light touches that are acceptable, touches that make her comfortable, not touches to where you're like grabbing her, right? Or you're doing something that's just so creepy. So keep that in mind. And remember that if you're trying to grab her ass or touch her tits, you're coming off as creepy. Unless she's a slut and she's asking you for it, don't do it, okay? Don't do it. All right, that's the video for today, guys. Like the video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe, guys. I'm out of here. Peace out.